appearance. I love their stage. I don't know. I miss the old red and blue ropes. I just do. Hell, throw in a black rope. I don't care. The WWE, you know, they base their whole show off of presentation. Because you got to remember, they're a show. They're not sports entertainment. Or should I say, they're not wrestling, they're sports entertainment. So if you're going to be sports entertainment, entertain us. This ain't the 50s where it's black and white. Show a little color. So switching gears into tonight's WWE Raw that comes to you live from Chicago, Illinois, from the Allstate Arena. You have a lot to get done. WWE Hell in a Cell is exactly 1 month away. The pay-per-view goes down on October 26th from Dallas, Texas at the American Airlines Center. You don't have any matches announced. You don't know if your world champion's going to be in there. You have a couple matches that you can see being added to the card shortly. And those matches are, you probably going to have Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, possibly AJ Lee and Paige, maybe a Bella Twins feud. It looks like Mark Henry's going to turn heel against Big Show. You don't have anyone for Rusev. You don't have anyone for Bray Wyatt, John Cena, etc. Speaking of tonight's show, there's two quick notes. This show should go up around noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. So as of right now, still several hours away from the show, but as of right now, two big news pieces that came out this morning, and you can read all those at mnpsports.com/squarespace. mnpsports.com/squarespace. Cheap plug. And all that information is in the description down below, either on YouTube or on Spreaker. And I believe it's going to be embedded on the site. Out of that way. So, Stephanie McMahon appeared on WGN America this morning to promote tonight's WWE Raw and the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And basically just get good press from incorporating WWE and that foundation for the next month. So she appeared, and of course, since they're in Chicago, she was asked about CM Punk. And they asked, well, are we ever going to see CM Punk in a WWE ring again or on TV? She simply put, never asked, or never say never. Let that spark infuriate and light a huge flame of rumors going into tonight's Raw. I highly, highly, highly doubt that he'll show up. But hey, it's WB, you never know. Another thing. The user on Reddit, I can't think of his username right off the top of my head, but he posted the CM Punk AJ Lee marriage news. He broke former WWE superstar JTG, his release from the organization, and a couple other similar stories. And I want to say he's the same user that does all the predictions for the pay-per-views. And many years, well, not many years, but a few years ago that he was predicting every single pay-per-view correctly. And WWE started, off-balling their booking and shit like that. So, he said that he got word from a source that Nikki Bella, Brie Bella would face off at Hell in a Cell. And if you noticed a few minutes ago, I noted that, hey, they're probably going to add that match. No problem. Really, I think we can all thank our lucky stars. Let's get this feud over with. However, he noted, and you need to note, that WWE creative plans change not on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, an hourly basis sometimes a minute by minute. Last week on Raw, they were rewriting the show as the show was going on. So, what are my thoughts on a possible Brie Bella versus Nikki Bella match in Hell in a Cell at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view? What the fuck? I get that it's a top program. Get that it's a top feud. And I get that WWE has this idea of let's not use the cell at all. In a Hell in a Cell match at the annual Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. But why in the blue heaven would you put these two in a Hell in a Cell match? While they built it as a top program, it's not. And every attempt that they have tried to build it as a top feud has fallen right on its face. I apologize for the dog barking. It's a beautiful day out here in Oklahoma, and these dogs won't bark at me. If these women get 10 minutes, it will be a miracle. If these women actually get in a cage, it will not be a miracle. And I think WB would be making a mistake by putting these women in a Hell in a Cell match, because you're tarnishing the reputation of the cell itself. That is my thoughts. What is yours? Like I said, we're halfway through the day. Should get news, more news coming out of tonight's Raw and leading into it. MMPsports.com/Squarespace is your number one home for pro wrestling, MMA, and a bunch of different news. We broke the story of the Oklahoma man that beheaded the woman in his office. We also broke the news of the cop shooting an unarmed man for simply not wearing a seatbelt, and a bunch more. We're rising up those ranks, so if you do me a huge favor, go check out the site. I'm not asking to be a everyday visitor. I'm just asking, go check out the site. If you like it, then hit that bookmark. And if you don't, thank you for listening to this podcast, radio show. I don't know what it is. Either way, I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you next time.